Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danielle. We are going to decorate our kitchen and dining area or breakfast nook today for Christmas. As you can see, I cleared everything out. I do like to start with a clean slate when decorating. I'm going to begin in the kitchen in this corner over here. I am keeping the books in this corner that I styled with for fall, but I'm adding this new thrifted Betty Crocker Christmas cookbook. I love the pop of red that it adds for Christmas time. It is an older cookbook, but the recipes look amazing and I'll definitely be trying some things out this season. I love incorporating small lamps into the kitchen. There is something about that soft ambient glow that completely elevates the space, especially when I don't want the overhead lights on. To bring in a subtle festive moment, I tied on this deep burgundy bow. Next to that, I'm adding this wooden base. It came with a cloche, but I removed it to keep the look open. If you caught my last thrifting video, you'll recognize these vintage style tree candles that I revived. I felt like the space needed a little something, so I took a quick trip and ran to Michael's, which is close by, and I picked up this print. I love the brass frame, and the mat has a beautiful, subtle, muted pattern that adds just enough detail. It really helps to finish off this corner beautifully. Now we are moving over to the other side. I grabbed this canister a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure it's from HomeGoods. This year I decided to repurpose it as a utensil holder. I just love the detail and those little pops of green and red. I did tuck some tissue paper inside so that the utensils sit a bit higher and are easier to see and grab. I also love to have a stacked breadboard look in the kitchen, so I'm adding these. I DIY'd the larger one and the smaller one was a gift. I wanted to bring a little texture to the breadboard, so I added a touch of greenery using a stem and some berries I already had on hand. I trimmed the stem, gathered everything together with floral wire, and then secured it to the board. It's a simple detail, but it adds a really pretty seasonal layer to this corner. Next, I'm adding this print I found for free on Open Access. And then I'm bringing in this little deer and a candle that I used during the fall that I never ended up finishing, but the acorn design blends in perfectly for Christmas time. This wicker bell is something I picked up a few years ago, and this season I dressed it up with a burgundy bow and a bit of greenery for a more elevated look. I styled it on the window above the stove, and it adds such a charming festive touch to that spot. Now I am going to make a floral arrangement using these Nandina berry stems that I purchased on Amazon at the end of summer. Unfortunately, they are sold out, but if I can find similar ones, I'll link them below for you. I love how they naturally drape, and it adds such a beautiful pop of color for the Christmas and winter seasons. I placed them over here on this kitchen cart and added a few other items to tie it all together. I am a tea girly, so I placed my favorite teas here on this riser. This mini tree was a thrift find from last year for just $2.49, and I DIY'd this vase earlier this year. With all the greens and reds in this space, this neutral vase helps to balance the color palette. I added a few bells beside it, tying a bow on it and stacking them for a layered look. I love these kitchen towels so much. I purchased them from Marshall's last year. And to finish everything off, I'm adding this wooden Merry Christmas sign. Now let's move on to the dining area. It is very brown in here, so I definitely want to add more vibrant colors for the season to brighten up the space. These glasses are a recent thrift find that I plan on leaving here year-round when not in use. I am beginning by making another floral arrangement. This is a vase that I DIY'd. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below. These are the stems that I will be using. For a Christmas touch, I am adding these cedar stems. They are from the Hearth and Hand line at Target. These are one of my favorite stems. They are so realistic and affordable, and you don't have to add too many to get a full look. I am tucking in more cedar stems with pine cones attached that are perfect for the season. And to tie in this arrangement with the one in the kitchen, I'm adding a couple of berry stems. And I place it back here on top of our radiator cover. Next to that, I placed a book and on top stacked some bells and this wooden village house that I purchased from HomeGoods a couple of years ago. There is actually a candle inside, but this year I won't be lighting it since it's over here next to these stems. On the opposite side, I stacked a few books and topped them with these reindeer from Walmart. I typically don't like these skinnier reindeer, but in this tucked away corner behind the dining table, their delicate, lightweight silhouette feels elegant and eerie compared to the thicker, more traditional reindeer decor. To save money, I'm keeping this frame that is already hung here, but I added a little greenery for a festive touch, along with ribbon to tie everything together. On the opposite wall where the shelves are, I added this vintage jug that I tied a bow on along with this vintage snowman. And here I'm adding this vintage cowbell that is also a thrifted find. On top, I added a nutcracker along with some pine cones. I thought it would be cute to add these festive plates up here, and to add height and visual interest, I stacked these breadboards on the end. To complete the look, I added a wooden riser to the dining table along with this bowl filled with Buddha nuts. I love the organic and natural touch that this adds to the space. I then added a cedar stem and this one with berries that I got from Dollar Tree. Finally, I'm adding this candle from Candy Candle. Honestly, this is the best smelling candle I have ever owned. True to its name, it perfectly captures the scent of candied cinnamon glazed almonds. That is all for today's video. Subtle touches, but still very festive and cozy for Christmas. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and found inspiration, especially on how to elevate smaller spaces for the holiday season. Please leave comments below on what your favorite pieces are, and as always, I truly appreciate you all. I will see you in the next video. Bye!